This is how we do. Today, I'm going to cover the top 5 biggest plot holes of Avengers Endgame. Avengers Endgame was riddled with plot holes. Avengers Endgame was so riddled with plot holes, Jim Carrey was almost cast as a villain. I loved Endgame. It was a top 5 movie. It was not better than Infinity War. It was a solid ending to a big franchise that earned a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to sit here and nitpick this movie, but when you have massive, gaping plot holes that ruin the continuity of other movies, including Infinity War, I'm going to call that lazy writing. And you had 3 years. Apparently this ending was done 3 years ago. I don't know about that. I could have written the plot of this movie in an NyQuil-induced haze. The plot of this movie is like little kids fighting. I'm invincible. No, I have the Cypress gem, and now you're not invincible. Oh, no, I'm going to go back in time and make you... I'm going to take the Cypress gem before you use it. You know, it's dumb. Anytime you invoke time travel, you had to do it right, and I don't think they did it right. And why? As evidence, there's 5 plot holes, not 10, even though I just raised 2 hands. There's 5 plot holes, okay, that are the biggest plot holes in Marvel Cinematic Universe all in one movie. I'm gonna work my way back from nitpicky to egregious. So the 5th biggest plot hole in this movie is that the Iron Man gauntlet fits all of the Infinity Stones. Now I know what people are gonna say. This is a nitpick. We're gonna overlook it. But when a big chunk of Infinity War was the quest of Thor to create Stormbreaker and having to almost die by the heart of the dying star, and Thanos having to create this gauntlet and then kill everyone so they couldn't recreate the gauntlet for someone else. But literally Stark technology, with this earthbound technology, could hold the stones. Why did you need that whole subplot of Infinity War? Now, this is number 5 for a reason. I can overlook it, whatever. You need something to hold the gloves. Stark's a genius. He figured it out. But you literally, now watching Infinity War, you're like, that doesn't make sense. So, number 4. This one, you kind of have to work with me a little bit, but when you start thinking about it, it doesn't make sense. Within the first 10 minutes of this movie, Thanos gets both his arm and his hand chopped off. Easily with Stormbreaker. Now, it starts making you think. Infinity War, Thanos is in an induced coma with his arms spread out. We've seen in Infinity War that he can draw blood. We've seen Gamora stab him in the neck. He can die, he can get pierced. So when they had him in the induced stupor and they were trying to pull his glove off, now after seeing Infinity War, why didn't they just cut his head off? Why didn't they stab him in the heart? Why didn't they cut his arm off and both arms off and take him to trial alive? Whatever they wanted to do, why not kill him there? It makes you rethink that scene going, okay, they have him pretty much, why are they trying to peel the glove off? Cut that crap off his arm. The time travel mechanics don't make sense. Time travel never really makes sense, but the easiest thing that I wrap my head around is when you travel back in time, you alter the future. But in this movie, they decided not to do that. They said when you travel back in time, it is the future. The back in time is the future. But then how do the events play out? Because you're going back to 1992, let's say, you still have to come back to 2018. There still has to be a present affected by you going into the past. So when Steve Rogers goes back into the past and lives his life out, who is the one in that plane that downs it in Antarctica with all the bombs? Who is the one that saves the world from being bombed? Is it still Steve Rogers? Is he still in the ice? Him going back in time to live out his life? Is he leaving his guys trapped in the ice to die? Did he not make the ultimate sacrifice? The time travel mechanics don't make sense. The Soul Stone. They say that Black Widow can't be brought back because the Soul Stone sacrifice can't be undone. But Gamora was brought back. They went back to the past and brought her back to the future. So can't they just go back and grab a Black Widow that's still alive and bring her back to the future? It doesn't make sense, even by their rules. I don't, fight me in the comments. Tell me how I'm wrong. Number 2, this was in a previous video. I didn't make it number 1 because number 1 is mind-boggling. So Iron Man doesn't need to die. He just doesn't. Explain to me why he needed to snap his fingers. Some people said to me, I've told a lot of people this, and no one really gives me a solid answer. They say, well, he wanted to retire. A lot of outside the business stuff, but he's getting older. They didn't, story-wise, tell me how Iron Man needed to die. Captain Marvel's on the battlefield. The whole entire Marvel pantheon is there. Iron Man does not need to snap his fingers in that moment. He could fight them off with his gauntlet. He could fly away. Doctor Strange could teleport him away. He has the glove. He doesn't need a snipe. He doesn't need to snap his fingers. You have a daughter, for Christ's sake. Don't kill yourself. Wouldn't it have been better? Let me set the scene for you. Thanos has all the stones. It's the same thing. Everything, the time travel, everything's back up to this moment. Thanos has the stones. He snaps his fingers. Nothing happens. He looks. He has the stones on his glove. They're all there. Why isn't it working? The Soul Stone clicks off, levitates off. He's staring at it. All of a sudden you're in the Infinity Realm. Gamora, whose soul is trapped in the Soul Stone, is the representative of the stone. It's the only stone with intelligence. It's the only stone that demands a sacrifice. You have to be wise how you use it. It demands something from you. It judges Thanos in this moment. You're not using the stone wisely. Therefore, I find you unworthy of the stone. All of a sudden, boom, it flies across the battlefield onto Tony Stark's hand. Tony Stark lights up. Thanos still has 5, but he doesn't have the Soul Stone. So he gets pissed off. He goes, you know what? I can't snap my fingers to kill you. I'll do it myself. He gets the Time Stone, starts doing his thing. All of a sudden, portals open up. Every Marvel villain from the last 22 movies, minus a few that wouldn't make sense, like Whiplash, all of them come back. We're talking Hela, Ultron, Ego, Surtur, Abomination. All of them start coming onto the battlefield. Malekith, the Dark Elves, all the evil from the last 22 movies come back versus all the good. Boom! Clash. Fighting. Thanos has all the 4 stones. Captain Marvel, boom, comes down. Now she can really be OP, and now you need an OP character because you have Thanos and the 4 stones and all the villains. Boom, boom, boom. Doctor Strange starts laying the pipe down. Boom. Doctor Strange comes onto the battlefield. Boom, boom. Wanda. So now you have the forces of evil and good, and now everyone can really be OP that needs to be OP. The evil side is still winning. The Soul Stone calls the other stones off his gauntlet. People are about to start dying. They're about to lose the battle. Now Iron Man snaps his fingers. Now he saves the day. It's earned. How he died wasn't earned. Honorable mentions for the worst plot holes in this movie. Thanos has wiped out 50% of many populations, so when he snapped his fingers, shouldn't those 50% also go away, so it's left with 25%? So the Asgardians would only be 25% and not half? Where does that math come in? Spider-Man is still in high school 5 years later, yet Ant-Man's daughter is 5 years older and a teenager. Captain Marvel is literally faster than the speed of light because she travels thousands of light years in literally less than 10 minutes and saves Tony Stark's life. Thanos with the gauntlet in Infinity War is weaker than Thanos without the gauntlet in Endgame because Thanos had 3 or 4 stones in Infinity War and was handled by like 6 superheroes, but without the gauntlet, he couldn't beat Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man all together. But my number 1 unbelievably egregious plot hole is that Doctor Strange can teleport entire armies in 5 seconds. Why is that bad? Because it ruins Infinity War. This is the only plot hole that ruins another movie. Doctor Strange was on the ship going to Titan and he told Tony Stark to turn the ship around. He couldn't use his teleportation on that ship. Did he not think of it? Stark, how do we turn this thing around? No, let's bring the fight to him. Okay, let's bring the fight to him. Teleport everybody onto that battlefield. Why are you trying to ambush him with 5 people? It makes no sense. Why not teleport his freaking hand, which has been seen being able to cut hands off? Why not create a ring around his hand and cut the stone off? I know you can pierce him, which ties into my earlier complaint. Stab him in the heart. I don't understand. It ruins Infinity War because you basically just wanted a plot device to bring all your heroes back to a battlefield. but then it ruins the movie before it, and it's egregious. The writer said they took 3 years to create this ending. I doubt that. Infinity War was a masterpiece, and then you just time travel everyone back with egregious plot holes, and they're like, no, don't look, Iron Man's making a sacrifice. Don't look at all this mess. Dude, why didn't you do this earlier? Don't tell me there was only one way. That's BS that the writers put in so you wouldn't question it. I'm using my chrysalis of death, and now it doesn't matter that you're invincible, I could still kill you. No, because I'm using my chrysalis of life and the power ring together, and now you can't use your chrysalis of death because of reasons. Guys, in the end, these movies had egregious plot holes. I am a Marvel fanboy. I've been watching since you were probably in diapers. I love Marvel. I respect Marvel. The Russo Brothers have made the two of the top 3 Marvel movies, and probably 3 of the top 5 Marvel movies. I appreciate them. I respect them. They were sloppy in this last movie. They were super sloppy. You can't deny the slop. And I don't want Marvel to be, now you have time travel in Marvel. By the way, if you're gonna introduce time travel, why don't you use the time stone? You create another mechanic for time travel. I don't know, dude. So tell me where I'm wrong, leave your thoughts, let me know, and I'm out of here.